Hello everyone. If you had to choose between a life of leisure and a life of hard work, which would you choose? Let's explore the lesson from the fable, The Ox and the Donkey with Hothan. An ox and a donkey lived on a farm, both owned by a hard-working farmer. The ox spent his days toiling in the fields, plowing from sunrise to sunset. The donkey, however, had a much easier job. He carried light loads and had plenty of time to rest and graze. The donkey, seeing the ox's hard work, grew conceited. He would often mock the ox, saying, "Poor, foolish ox, you work so hard all day long. Look at me. I barely do anything, and I get all the good hay and rest. You are a slave to the plow, while I am the master of leisure." The ox, though tired, simply smiled and continued his work, never complaining. He knew his labor was essential for the farm, providing food for everyone, including the lazy donkey. One day, the farmer noticed the ox looking a little weary. He said to his wife, "The ox is a good, faithful worker, but he looks tired. I think he needs a break. I'll take his plow and put it on the donkey's back for a day. That will teach him a lesson." The donkey, hearing this, was horrified. He tried to refuse, but the farmer was firm. The farmer put the heavy plow on the donkey's back and sent him out to the field. The donkey struggled under the weight. He tried to pull the plow, but it was too heavy and too difficult. He stumbled, fell, and his legs grew weak. By the end of the day, the donkey was so exhausted he could barely stand. That evening, the donkey watched the ox, who was now resting peacefully, a simple, contented look on his face. The donkey, sore and aching all over, finally understood. "Dear ox," he said humbly, "I was wrong. I thought my leisure was a sign of my superiority. But I see now that your hard work is what brings peace and stability to us all. I am nothing without your labor." The moral of the story. This fable teaches us that every role, whether it involves hard work or a seemingly easier path, has its own value and purpose. The donkey, in his ignorance, saw the ox's toil as a weakness, not understanding that the ox's labor was the foundation of the entire farm's prosperity. He learned the hard way that true strength and dignity come from contributing to the well-being of the whole, not from avoiding responsibility. Let this story inspire you to appreciate the value in all forms of work and effort. Don't fall into the trap of looking down on those who work differently or harder than you. Every person's contribution, big or small, plays a vital role in building a better world. True contentment comes not from how little you do, but from finding purpose in the work you do.